Welcome to the Optimal Health Podcast. This is Steve Adams, and I'm your host today. And today we're going to talk about data-driven health optimization. You know, this is an area that is really interesting to people, and it's gaining more and more acceptance, more wide acceptance. I see people more and more looking at their Fitbits, their Apple Watches, their Oura Rings, their Whoop bands. You name it. There's many different devices. And so the big question you may be thinking, what is it that you recommend with your organization? We work with high achievers in our virtual concierge medicine program. And we have landed on the Oura Ring. And the main reason is that we really want to track, a few key measures. One, we want to understand your sleep architecture. It's not enough for us to just know a score. We actually want to know the architecture, and I'll get into that in a minute. We want to understand the trend of your HRV, or heart rate variability. We also want to know your oxygen saturation levels. Are you getting good air at night, or is there a problem with some type of obstructive sleep apnea? And so those are the big things we want to know about, okay? But data-driven health optimization goes far beyond just things like wearables. Okay? When you wear a device on your body and you track things, that's one pillar of the puzzle, if you will, to understanding, data and how your body is doing on a day-to-day basis. Okay, and the whole idea behind a wearable is know where you are. When you see changes in the trend, ask yourself, what behaviors did I exhibit the day before or currently that possibly could be driving this trend, good or bad? And then do more of the things that make the trend go up and less of the things that make the trend go down. Okay, so I'll give you an example. For me, I love movie theater popcorn. Like, who doesn't, right? But what I have learned is that if I make the choice to do that and have movie theater popcorn, which my doctors at Tiger Medical really don't want me to do because they said it's one of the most inflammatory foods you can eat. So I just have it periodically as a treat. But when I do that, I know that I'm going to wreck my deep sleep, that my sleep score is going to go down, and I'm not going to feel as good the next day. Okay, I just know this. And so it's one of those things that I removed from doing it weekly to something more like once a month or less, because I valued consistently good sleep more than I valued that treat. And that's one way that you can use data in a wearable to improve your overall health and optimize your health. Okay? Another one is looking at sleep architecture. So that means the latency, how long does it take you to get to sleep, the mix of REM sleep and deep sleep. Okay, those are really important. Because if you're not getting adequate REM and deep, you're going to be both physically tired and you're not going to have the repairs going on in your brain that needs to happen on a regular basis if you've got low REM sleep. And then this will lead to long-term cognitive decline if you don't arrest that trend. So you can see why these are some very valuable things. We also track heart rate variability. This is a measure of life load overall, like how resilient are you, okay? If you have a low score, a score below 10 MS, you're not resilient. You're very brittle, very low scores, very poor HRV, if you will, is correlated with mental health disorders. It's correlated with all-cause mortality. It's correlated with poor performance. And so we know that there are certain lifestyle factors that we can engineer into your life, and we can start to track and see that trend line go up on HRV. And that's what we're always looking for, is what is the trend of your HRV, not only where is it at. So for example, when I first started, I was around an 8, maybe a 9, 10 on the HRV score MS. And today I'm routinely between 31 and 55, okay? Most of the time in the 40s. So there's been a 400%, 500% improvement in that number, which means I'm far more resilient. I have better emotional control. And it also correlates with I'm taking better care of myself. And so that's reflecting in that life load score, okay? So those are some simple ways that you can use a wearable. Now, another way we use HRV in the wearables is if clients ask us, hey, my HRV's been going down for 3 or 4 days in a row. I have my body temperature at night is showing positive, like a significantly elevated body temperature. My heart rate is elevated. And typically we see that when somebody has had alcohol late at night before they go to bed, or consistently, number one. Number two, it could be they're in a very serious, stressful environment right now, and their body is telling them that you need to do something different to help me out here. And so in those cases, we will have them double down on their diaphragmatic breathing, more recovery cycles during the day, more meditation, maybe get with a friend and process what they're dealing with, help them to get the emotions out. All kinds of things you can do, okay, in that case. And the third one is you're getting sick. You're just kind of spiraling down, and maybe you got a virus under the hood and it's turning into a full-blown upper respiratory infection or a cold. And so when you see that, you can actually like amp up the vitamin D. I'm not making medical recommendations. I'm just saying what I do. I'll amp up the vitamin D. I'll not get up early. I'll sleep in, get extra sleep. I'll hydrate more heavily. I'll eat really healthy, and I'll also do like triple the breath work, like 3 hours a day instead of 40 minutes a day, which is my norm, okay? So those are some things that you can do to iterate through life positively. I guess one other thing, fourth application of HRV trends is if you're an athlete or if you just want to stay fit, when you work out, when your readiness scores in Aura or Apple or Whoop or some of the other devices, if you've got good readiness scores, good sleep scores, and your HRV is on an upswing or at least in the norm, go hard, go work out hard, challenge yourself. But when you see those dips, where your readiness score is, for us, we always say below 70, if our sleep score is poor, if our HRV is in a downward trend, then back off. Don't do the heavy lifting workout. Don't do the HIIT workout for cardio. Don't do a long run. Just take a brisk walk that day and do recovery, active recovery, which means moving, not just sitting on a couch, okay? So those are kind of 4 applications there. Now there's another domain though, and that is episodic type screenings, okay? So our doctors will get a patient in, and this person's in their mid-50s or 60s. They've got a family history of coronary heart disease, cardiovascular disease, and they want to, and they're a little bit overweight. They have a lot of stress, and they see in their blood markers that they've got some elevated advanced lipid markers. And so they'll oftentimes have this client go and get something called a Clearly scan, which is a very definitive, significant image, live action image of your heart functioning, and it's definitive in terms of determining whether or not you've got blockage or not, okay? And those are the kind of things you want to know so that you can go to work on that, okay, and help begin to reverse some of the effects of cardiovascular disease. So screenings like that, I'm involved in a company where it screens your overall vascular health with a 2-minute test on your tongue. That can be very important, especially for people who have a family history of kidney or hypertension or cardiovascular disease or diabetes. Okay? It's a big leading indicator of something down the road is going to happen. So if you can get ahead of it with some of these preventative screenings, really important that you do that. Also for women, their mammograms, and things like that, and your annual physical, the basic one you do with your traditional doctor, there are very useful data-driven screenings that over time have been validated as to having an effect on your overall health. And then the next frontier, and this is where we operate at Tiger, and that is advanced types of preventative screenings, looking at things like your toxin burden, your microbiome health, whether or not you have leaky gut or not, looking at your genetics, looking at your hormones, looking at micronutrient deficiencies. There's a number of tests like this where you can learn a lot about where you are, and then what a good root cause functional medicine physician can do is take that mosaic of data and really dial in a personalized health optimization roadmap for you based on real data, based on that merger of genetics, meaning what you're predisposed to, what's your unique blueprint, what's going to work best for your unique makeup compared to your current labs, okay? Far beyond just blood work, which we do, but looking at these other areas that cause damage to your cellular health, like toxin burden and microbiome imbalance, dysbiosis, leaky gut, okay? So, I guess to summarize, what I'm trying to share with you is there's wearable devices, there are annual screenings, and then there are advanced packages of testing where you can really get ahead of things, okay? You can look at your day-to-day, you can look at the basics, and then you can get into real advanced type markers. And it's this kind of data, whether it's wherever that is in that continuum, whichever of the three legs of the stool, devices, annual screenings, or advanced labs, any of those are going to give you more information to then start to take action, okay? And so if you want to optimize your health, listening to my podcast or any number of other biohackers out there is not going to do it for you, okay? The goal, I think, of all of us that do this work is to merely expose you to that option to do something about it, and then admonish you to do something, okay? That's the goal here. You don't want to get your information in articles and podcasts and take action off of those. You want those to spur you on to engage with a qualified, licensed medical provider and maybe get one of these devices, one of these rings, one of these watches like I have. Start on your own journey of managing your day-to-day data and making different decisions, but then go work with somebody who is medically trained to help you really dial in a plan that is going to optimize your life. Listen, I'll tell you, it is worth it. 7 years ago, I was really unhealthy. If I hadn't changed, if I stayed in my exact lifestyle, there's a good chance I might not be alive today. And since that time, both my kids have gotten married and my daughter had a son, and I get to spend time with a little boy, grandson. His name is Alexander, who's just about 2 years old now. I would have missed all that. And so, and not only am I here, I'm really, I feel great. I can play with him on the ground and run around. I've got the ability to travel anywhere in the world. So I'm not only alive, but I'm thriving, and that's a narrative that you can create for yourself as well, okay? And at Tiger Medical, if you just go to our website at tigermi.com, if you look for it, you can see it very easily on the front page of the website, our optimal health test. It's a great way to get started on this journey. It's a very simple one-step process, $299. You never leave your home. We ship it right to your house through our partner company, Validus, and you get actual advanced lab markers. You meet with one of our professionals. We talk you through it, your lab results. You have them, your own copy of them, and then we explain to you our concierge process and how it works and how over time you can rewrite your narrative on your future health. And so I would encourage you to consider that today. Or, listen to more of our podcasts. Go into our learning center and read some of our articles, our blog posts. Get yourself educated, okay? You can always just book a call with someone. I believe that option is there. But the first big step is if you want to do this, is you've got to get data. And we provide that real easy, inexpensive step to get started. And then you can decide if you want to keep going from there, okay? Thank you. I hope this was helpful.
Steve Adams here from Tiger Medical Institute talking about the True Health Assessment. What if you could safeguard not just your health, but the well-being of your entire family? With the True Health Assessment from Tiger Medical, you can. Our comprehensive blood screening identifies hidden risks before they become major issues. Our elite team of Mayo Clinic trained and naturopathic physicians then create a customized plan to optimize your health for years to come. When you prioritize your wellness, you ensure you can be fully present for the people you love most. Don't let preventable issues cut that time short. For less than the cost of a daily latte, you can gain peace of mind and a clear path to sustained vitality. Protect your future and your family's future with True Health Assessment from Tiger Medical at thetruehealthassessment.com. Again, that's at thetruehealthassessment.com.